kingdom to address this matter one way or another. But brothers and sisters, that is their legacy. That is their legacy. Keith Rowley leaves this country worse than he found it. In 2015, you had jobs. You remember that? You had water, you had roads, you had infrastructure. Today, what do we have? Everything is collapsing. Everything is collapsing. And as Philip Watts told you earlier, they will come to you and say, don't put back the UNC because of this, because of that, because they do this, they do that. I want to make it clear, and I stand here, no one can dispute what I am about to say now. None, nobody. In the 5 years we served under Cabinet Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, not one UNC minister of Kamla Persad-Bissessar's cabinet has ever been arrested, convicted of any criminal action, any criminal activity. None. If somebody know different, tell me. All they try, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a political witch hunt, and they found no witches. They found no witches. 100 million. Today, brothers and sisters, when they come back with that ghost of corruption, the bogey corruption, say, no, 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 that ain't working here tonight. Tell them, that ain't working, that will not work again. They cannot fool people. They want to tell you a new cabinet. Who they swear in as Attorney General? Who they swear in? Now I want to tell you something. The biggest question people are asking today, Wayne, is Camille Robinson Regis a real lawyer? Everybody asking. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But they swear in this person as the Attorney General in the Parliament. I want to tell you tonight, Stuart Young and others asked 5 prominent attorneys in Port of Spain to be Attorney General, and all rejected them. They were rejected by about 5 attorneys in Port of Spain. 1 or 2 with quite prominent lawyers and so on. They all rejected them. Nobody wants to be identified at this stage with them, given their lack of performance, given what they are. So Camille Robinson Regis, she replaced a fellow, let me be forgetting him already. What is his name? Limo? Limo? No man, it's not that, it's some other name he has. So brothers and sisters, she replaced this fella. But this is a most curious, it gets curious as we go along. The fella leaves the job as Attorney General and takes up a job as a judge in the Court of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Court. I want to ask tonight, Mr. Limo, did you use the office of Attorney General to solicit a next job as a judge in the Eastern Caribbean? So this man was Attorney General and he was looking for work. Because you cannot demit office as Attorney General and the next day you walk in to a court and say, I am a judge. That is a process. You apply, you interview, you go through maybe several interviews and so on, brothers and sisters. So let me tell you something. Reginald Amo may have been using the office of Attorney General to solicit employment, to seek another job. That is how he moved like that. He came in controversy when I think he was lying in a Miami court. And today, he lives in controversy because he has to explain that. That is improper. What is also improper, brothers and sisters, and I tell you tonight without fear of contradiction, Camille Robinson Regis is disqualified from being the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. She cannot be. Brothers and sisters, imagine this person who is the Attorney General is also the designated representative to the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force. That is a big name for organization that monitors our compliance with international obligations, dealing with things like money laundering. And here what they're dealing with, source of funds. This Caribbean Financial Action Task Force has as part of its remit to deal with suspicious transactions. Now what could go wrong here? What they say? The mice guarding the cheese. So Camille Robinson Regis is in charge of supervising our domestic institutions that supervise and look after large cash deposits, sources of funds that are suspicious. She has to make law regarding the collecting of customer due diligence, financial obligations to the international bodies and so on. This is a woman who in 2016 could not explain this deposit in FCB. She said she got it from her next bank. The bank said, we know nothing about that. To this day, we are told that there's an ongoing police investigation in that matter. The police has not closed the investigation. At least they have not indicated that to the public. She is now the Attorney General who must monitor all your bank account for suspicious transaction when she couldn't explain her own transaction. You understand what has happened here? And, well, we remember her in her early incarnation when she took a government credit card and bought all type of... No, I can't say that. Let's say personal items. I don't want to go further than that. So, brothers and sisters, by virtue of her own history, of what might be an ongoing investigation, of her inability to explain a deposit, sources of funds, she is disqualified from being the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. And Stuart Young, his very first act as Prime Minister was to appoint her. So his very first act was a mistake. And he will make plenty more mistakes to come. That much, brothers and sisters, we are assured of. He has started the race. I want to tell Stuart Young, a lame horse cannot start a race. There are laws against that. So he has started as a lame duck, a lame horse. Brothers and sisters, the other related matter with Camille Robinson Regis is that I am not sure that she has a practicing certificate, a certificate to practice law. This is an Attorney General who is I don't want to use big words for you, but is a sort of ceremonial head of the lawyers in the country. You have an important role to play by supervising the legal profession, the working with the judiciary and so on. Historically, that's a big word I didn't want to use. But she has that role, but she doesn't have a practice certificate to practice law. We do not know the last time she practiced law. We know last time she practiced police work, she was reading a warrant in Parliament. And we call her WPC Camille. That's about 10 years ago. And in 10 years, she never get promoted. I tell she should talk to Anand Ramlogan. He does deal with the matters. When you don't get promotion. She won't be able to pay him. But brothers and sisters, this is the sorry state that our country has arrived at. I want to remind you, this new Prime Minister is not new. He's not new. Don't let anybody fool you to say he's new, he's fresh. He was the Minister of National... I see he's promising to deal with crime. Do you know Stuart Young was National Security Minister from August 2018 to April 2021? He was Minister of National Security. Do you know in 2019, brothers and sisters, his first full year as Minister of National Security, the murder rate hit a record 536 murders in that year. That was a new record for this country. His first full year as Minister of National Security. He coming out to say he will deal with crime. When he was minister, he made all kind of crazy statements. You all forget he was with a bullhorn by the Queen's Park, Savannah? He lined up with a bullhorn and telling the people from Venezuela, line up and get in line and keep quiet and so on. He is responsible for this crisis involving illegal immigrants in this country that has led to enormous social problems, crime and other problems. Stuart Young, when he was Minister of Energy, you remember the divers, 4 divers perished in a pipeline over 3 or 4 days. He was Minister of Energy. And he had no energy because you couldn't see him. When we were at Point-a-Pierre providing food for the relatives and comfort and compassion, he was nowhere to be seen. That fella is the Prime Minister. He takes over from the leader of our grief. He takes over from what Emeritus Professor Selwyn Kojo here calls the leader of our grief. Well, we have a young leader for our grief now. Brothers and sisters, may I remind you, Young promised as Minister of National Security that the ministry will launch intelligence-driven operations in February 2019. He go on cops to use tools, high-tech tools to fight crime. Crime will be fighting crime, intelligence-driven. And hear this one, in 2019, June 2019, he said the police going after big fish. Well, he ain't catch big fish, he ain't catch small fish, he ain't catch no fish. He come again, he say, Young, we will not allow criminals to tax citizens. Well, we know how that went. He has been a failure as Minister of National Security. When in his first full year, the murder rate spiked at 536, Young say, the statistics on crime does frighten him. He's the minister, you know, and the statistics frighten him. And he's now the Prime Minister and the Chairman of the National Security Council. So brothers and sisters, I want to warn you that nothing will change here. If it changes, it will get worse. Look at what we have, the home invasions, the murders. They just kill people by a grop now. Not one by one, you know, by a grop. You wake up one day, 4 murders, 5 murders in a state of emergency, and Stuart Young preside over that. He's presiding over that. So nothing will change. This cabinet he brought here, bring back a fella, a known PNM from London. Bring back the fella here. He brought him back here, he's a known PNM. They have not attracted one new face. Not one new professional, not one new person with an experience and expertise in any area to the cabinet. But they want to fool you and say, oh, we come in, man, we come in, we come in. So brothers and sisters, these are some of the issues, and I will just leave you with one point now to tell you that do not take on the nonsense you are hearing from the PNM and Rowley. He boasting about the Point Fortin highway. There is no highway to Point Fortin. Anyone earlier ever drive? There's a jigsaw puzzle to get to Point Fortin. You have to go through 4 different segments, a jigsaw puzzle. Point Fortin highway is the only highway in the world that have a bus stop. You could actually, there's a bus stop and there's a place called Joyce Parlor. That's the only highway with a bus stop on it. There's a jigsaw puzzle to get to Point Fortin. We will have to get back there and fix the mosquito crack. We will have to fix the mosquito crack. We will have to join the highway and create a real one-route highway to Point Fortin in due course. So brothers and sisters, I want to tell you we have a lot of work to do. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar is assembling a team of strong men and women with expertise and experience and youth and vibrancy and energy to lead this great country. We must hold our heads up high that we will rescue this country. We will do the work to clean up the mess that they are leaving for us, brothers and sisters. Now is a time to wake up the lion. Now is a time to wake up the lion. When you're in battle, you don't wake up a sheep, you wake up lion. That is the lion roaring. So brothers and sisters, tonight I leave you to say, long live the United National Congress. Long live the good people of La Joqueta, Talparo. We will return this seat. We will return San Fernando West. We will return all the seats in the East-West corridor. And we will secure victory for the people. And we will install Kamla Persad-Bissessar as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. God bless you all. Thank you.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, an official announcement, please. The fire services and the police have told me, because of the massive crowd here, I must request that you keep the passageways clear. The place is overflowing, but we want to be safe. So please, keep the passageways clear. Here at this massive UNC meeting in Brazil Secondary, the constituency of La Joqueta, Talparo. You know, I'm glad Munilal talk about whatever thing they shuffle a pack of jokers. But I must be honest, you know the Douglas don't lie to you. I think there was one good portfolio switch. Yes. I think moving Marvelous Marva from Wassa, from water to national security was fantastic. All you want to know why? Because we hope he stopped the blood flowing just like he stopped water flowing in all your pipe. That man is let me go ahead. Yes, the boss tell me to be on my best behavior. I have to disagree with the lion, you know. The lion says Small Pin make his first mistake already. Small Pin is such a mama pool, he didn't even select his own cabinet. It's Rowley select it. But all you don't even know, Dan Paul, that PNM PS, that clown who say he oversee PNM tender process for the Petrotrin refinery and so on, he was in England, he was in London, he had to pack up things, book flight, he didn't have to get visa, he was the man in charge when the UK tell we, our favorite island in the Caribbean, we loved you as a Commonwealth peon. We now don't want you because the PNM sucks and all of you now have to pay because all you put Rowley there. That man was in England. He got on a plane 2 days ago. Who was Prime Minister 2 days ago? Keith Christopher Rowley. So how Small Pin, who now become Prime Minister, could say he select his cabinet? He is a puppet of Keith Christopher Rowley. He could not even explain why he made Camille Attorney General. When they asked him, but Camille Robinson Regis, why you chose her as Attorney General? He said, well, I'll be patient now. For now, she's the best for this time. But 3 o'clock, I go get the information from Rowley and tell all you who is the cabinet. That is PNM. Fire burn all of them. Call the election and get ready. We have some other MPs in the house. Yesterday when they introduced the Alsing Convent girl in the Woodford Square wake, when he do a thing, he says a dance, I thought he was getting a seizure. I called the hospital, I said, you're going to check the Alsing boy. What is that man doing there? But you know what happened? Just before they introduced him, he was on the phone, go back and check. And what come across his phone? Devish Maharaj walking up in Mount Hope and people rushing him. And that man started to shake, he started to tremble and get a seizure on the people's stage. Poor I'll sing. Devish Maharaj, make some noise for the next member of parliament for the constituency of St. Joseph. Bringing to you where the air is beginning to get rare. A lady who I must say, I just work hard. But when I see this woman walking, I want to know if she working on energizer battery. When she does sleep, she does still find time to exercise walking up Mount Hololo. Then she in every meeting, she left side, right side, upside down, from Maruga to Matlot, from Caranage straight through the middle in Couva, in Barrackport, Princestown. The hardest working deputy political leader, a lady who's going to help Mr. Watts bring La Hokata Talparo to the UNC. Welcome, Charlene! Charlene! John!
Good night. You are in the Republic of LHD, La Hokata Talparo. Welcome, 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 welcome. Honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who is listening to Anil's bad behavior on her way here, and Dr. Gregory Bissessar, members of parliament, senators, chairman of corporation, councillors, our wonderful members, supporters, activists of the United National Congress, LHT is in the house. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. The over 3,000 people here in person and the 4,500 on the live. This is what a political party looks like. This is what a political meeting looks like. This is not a wake identifying as the launcher candidate. What PNM had in the, wherever they had it yesterday in Woodford Square. I mean, a lot of these political parties tell us we are supporters. They are supporters, and I tell myself they must be counting AI bots, or maybe they're seeing dead people. But this is what a political party that is alive and well on its way to victory looks like. We know the writing is on the wall. All these dead people in here, are you feeling the writing is on the wall? UNC, you've been doing this for a very long time. You have kept the faith, you have run a good race, and victory is in sight. Today, it is a relief to call Keith Christopher Rowley the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Because after 10 years, he leaves with no legacy. He leaves with nothing. He leaves with zilch, zero. He has labeled himself and Stuart Young our greatest salesman. But you and I know all they have sold us is a whole set of bullshit. Toil and sorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the period of Lent, and many people give up their bad habits that are not good for you. In light of that, tonight I commend you for giving up the bad habit, Keith Christopher Rowley. Today I've seen on a video with the same people who co-signed with Rowley and Young to destroy our peace, prosperity, and way of life, telling Rowley, thanks, thank you for giving me the best time of my life. I wish the 2,000 students who dropped out and Dolly never looked for them, Gasby Dolly never looked for them. We don't know where they are. They dropped out from school during COVID. I hope they could say thank you for destroying my life. The police, men and women, stressed out public servants who they gave 4% and then took 47% for themselves. You think they're saying thank you? You ask Petrosin workers who maybe this fridge door was closed and all of them has been sent home. They have all been sent home. Some of them are living out of the backs of their cars. You think they're saying thank you? Rowley has destroyed their life. Tell the 5,000 murder victims and those they have left to mourn. Ask them, ask Kylie Maloney, 5-year-old, her parents, her grandparents, who was killed in her bed whilst asleep. Anita Diaz, killed in her mother's arm while her hair was being combed. I remember my mother combing my hair, plaiting my hair. Her mother's arm is the safest place. She was killed. You think that mother, heart filled with grief, is grateful that Rowley was here? For the PNM, it was the best of times, but for us, it was the worst of times. So on their behalf, I say thank you, nothing. Thank you, nothing. Good riddance. Everything Rowley touches is destroyed and reduced to crime, corruption, and chaos. Today, this nation faces an uncertain future because of the hand of a man known with the Midas touch. Everything he touches is destroyed. Tonight, you would have heard Philip Watts share with us why he no longer supports the PNM. He made specific reference to their lies and deception. In Tobago, we have a saying, when jacks come out of sea and say, shark dead them, shark dead them. So if Philip Watts said they ain't good, them ain't good. Because that Philip Watts is the reason we must in opposition now. He's a magical statistician, strategist. He's not probably known as yet nationally, but they will hear Philip Watts. They will know Philip Watts. He's unassuming, but he's deadly. Madam Political Leader, you probably must have heard Rowley calling up Watts' name last night in Woodford Square, because Watts come to dim Foster coming light. In political circles, there are not many as hard-working and targeted, specific, and focused as Watts. And when he left the PNM, you know what that means. The writing is on the wall. When Philip Watts roll, he don't roll alone. He don't roll alone. Philip Watts don't roll alone. He came with all win. And when all win, this is code, you know, the PNM knows it. When all win, Land in Talparo with our Miss Gemma. Talparo gone. When the big man, Biggie, let me see you. Where you, Biggie? When Biggie, they know Biggie. When Biggie's in the house, when Biggie has switched sides, they know that Greenville gone. All you know, even the man with the 5-foot ISIS statue cross, you know a particular MP like Simidimi. So the man cross, so his statue gone. So that's the troubled man. That's why he's looking so. So together with our Maniga Sign and Miss Nancy, Monday Nuevo is locked. Our activist extraordinaire, Miss Barbara Ragbir, she had the farming area of Waterfield. Successfully, she will bring in that area. So you can see the writing is on the wall. Rowley, before he packs and run away, and Dr. Munila spoke about that just now, go and attain the place with a set of plaques in construction site. When Kamla Persad-Bissessar is Prime Minister, we don't open construction sites, we open hospitals. We open hospitals, functioning hospitals. And I recalled, you see, people like to say that we and PNM are the same. But as Kendrick Lamar said, they are not like us. They are not like us. They're not like us. When Kamla Persad-Bissessar, you need a leader with compassion. She went to the San Fernando General Hospital and she saw people lying in the corridors, waiting on beds. What did she do, Dr. Munilal? There was a base building constructed by the Patrick Manning's regime. She said, convert that into a hospital bed tower. I said, madam, what kind of time frame? She said, in 18 months. And in 18 months, we were opening a 216-bed tower under the leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Dr. Munilal. I used to go have those site meetings at 4:15 a.m. on mornings in San Fernando. I live in Port of Spain. UNC don't joke. We are not going to open any base building and fool people. Any Hollywood production. And you know that man they call D.L. Singh. He should have his tongue notarized. Because that man does lie about little things. He does lie about big things. He does lie when he don't have to lie. He said that the hospital will be opened in June of this year. I want to know which June. Do you know that they borrowed beds from Arima Hospital to take down there? They did. I don't want him to say it is not so. The following morning he had to take back the beds. So there's nothing, there's a construction site. That is what it is. They still have to outfit it. And that will take another year and a half. And the Kamla Persad-Bissessar government will then commission that hospital. That's what's going to happen. That hospital is not closed. In the same way, when she gave us the mandate to build the Couva Children's Hospital, 230-bed hospital, 80 specifically for children, and 150 for adults. 30 months. In 30 months. You asked Dr. Munilal, in 30 months, we had a state-of-the-art hospital there, waiting. It was being commissioned. Dr. Bodo is here. He was the chairman at the time. It was being commissioned. You know what commissioning a hospital means? It means it's done. It means you have accepted not practical completion. It is substantially completed and you have triggered the warranty. So what I'm doing for this when there is a crime, because they have triggered the warranties. So if the hospital roof leaking, it means that is for your pocket, the taxpayer's pocket. You do not accept a hospital that is a building. That's a base building. That's what it is, with 2 Red Cross on the side of it. We, the United National Congress, we construct hospital from start to finish. We also mobilized the Arima Hospital and the Point Fortin Hospital. We did that. Rowley would never have done that, even for people who voted for him. And when you're talking about airport, we are specialists in that. They could say what they want. Because I could tell you, a day in May 2001, when Mr. Basilio Pandey cut that ribbon, that North Terminal opened. A flight touched down and that airport has never been closed after that. We just open things. We don't mama guy. We are serious people. When UNC wins, everybody wins. Everybody wins. So I've said Rowley's tenure has produced nothing. We have nothing to show. And I want Stuart Young to tell me what he's going to do differently. Because you know Stuart Young is Rowley with hair on his head. Tonight in Brazil, as I stand here, we were standing here some years ago, some young men were in the audience, and they started to talk to me. I was up on the podium speaking. And I said, if you're talking to me there, come up and say what you have to say. The young man's name was David. I think I saw David here somewhere tonight. He was coming into somewhere tonight. His name was David. And David came up and he said, we want jobs. We want opportunities. We want help. Just give us an opportunity and we will go with that. The next day, I think David was on the front page of all the papers saying, the youths from the Hockey Total Paro want job. Stuart Young was then Minister of National Security. What did he do? A few days after, he held a press conference. As the Minister of National Security, he accessed David's file. The guy's name is Malone Hughes. And the following day, every newspaper had Malone Hughes on their front page. One front page said, hero on UNC platform has long rap sheet, says Stuart. That is what Stuart Young does with power. I am telling you, be very afraid with this man that Rowley and them has coronated. And we don't even know if it's illegal. We are not sure what they have done today. We are days away from a general election. Why Rowley couldn't hold out? What is Rowley running from? Why Rowley just run and take up his bag and run away and install the same people? What is that about? Be very, very vigilant, because just as you know, they know the writing is on the wall. Their polls are telling them that they are going to lose the next election. So Mr. Man write up about Hughes, and the next day, Mr. David's life was pure misery. Pure misery. Stuart Young said that Jerlene John, this is what he said, you know. He said Jerlene John seemed to have taken on a disturbing mandate to do certain work in the East-West corridor. Does it mean that Stuart Young will not be a prime minister for all? He will not be a prime minister for those young men along the East-West corridor? What is wrong if young men say, we want opportunity? Do you know who will give you opportunities? Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Because I recall one Christmas day I was in my office. Because when Kamla in office, you have to be in your office every day. And my phone rang. She didn't know I was in my office. And she called to ask me about a lady, some status of housing for a lady. The lady had no recognizable name. She wasn't famous. But the Prime Minister called and asked. And I said, I'll get back to you, madam. 15 minutes later, she called again. It's Christmas Day. I have nobody in the office. I can't find the details. She said, I'm waiting for the answer. Well, eventually I had to wake up everybody and so on, disturb them to get whatever. So she got the response about this lady. Sometime later, Prime Minister called me and said, I want you to prepare a draft cabinet note for the people living in HTC houses, renting in HTC houses for over 30 years. Give them those houses for $100. I didn't do it. She called back a week after. She said, where's the draft note? I have not seen it. I said, madam, you're giving away tongue. Because we're talking about Queen Street. We're talking about Prince Street. We are talking about Duncan Street. Prime real estate. We are talking about coming further east. We're talking about Maloney. Prime real estate. These are not people who have voted for Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She said, I want you to do it. Because everybody deserves a stake in their country. We are not like the PNM. Kamla Persad-Bissessar knows this. Because she says, when I was young, we used to go from bow to stand. That's how she put it. We used to rent everywhere. And I understand what it is not to have a home. And I want everybody to have a home. And because of that, every Saturday with the HCC, Dr. Munilal used to be giving out 100 keys. We're busy. Every single Saturday or Sunday, I'll take you there or lean on me, and Dr. Munilal giving out 100 keys. And you know what happened? Those people could have gone straight into those houses. It's not like now, you give them keys here and you're taking it back there because the house is done. It's a Hollywood production. When we gave you your keys, prior to that, we treated you like people, like family. We'll take you to the house. We'll say, look, this is your defect list. Tell us if something is wrong with the sink, with the toilet, with the door jamb, and we will fix it. Because when you are handed those keys by the Honorable Minister, then Honorable Minister of Housing, you are going in there to live a good life. Very recently on Carnival Sunday, I was going to buy bread. My mother not here, so I had to, buy bread and thing. And the person was ringing up the sale, said, Miss John, I want to tell you something. I said, what? She said, but I'm afraid. What is this? She said, I got a key when you all were in office. I said, so what now? She said, I'm from Maraval, but I got it in Cuba. I said, Cuba is a wonderful place to live. She said, yes. She said, but I got it on a Sunday. I said, yes. She said, because the list was long, so you all gave it on a Sunday. I said, no. You got it on a Sunday because Kamla Persad-Bissessar was the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So we worked every day, right? We worked every day. Saturday and Sunday, the Housing Development Corporation was open for people because we had to process those keys. When the government changed, I remember the deceased then minister, Marlene MacDonald, the press asked her, are you going to continue with 100 keys a week? She said, that is stupidness. We got to stop with that stupidness. For PNM is foolishness. For Kamla Persad-Bissessar is having a stake in your country. So, 100 young people from Mova is here tonight. Mova, are you here? Like Mova fall asleep or what? 100 young people from Mova came here tonight. And they are saying that we want the same opportunity as Stuart Young. And ladies and gentlemen, UNC, we might not win Mova in this cycle, but I could promise you, based on how it's trending, 2030, Mova might be in the UNC column. Why? Because Mova is saying, community such as Mova is saying, we are not our mothers and grandmothers. For years, they have tried, for years, Mova is here. They say we are not our mothers and grandmothers. 100 young people from Mova came tonight. They say we are not our mothers, we are not our grandmothers. For too long, for over 60 years, our mothers and grandmothers, the backbone of the PNM, they have been treading up the wine press. And they are saying, we are coming with the UNC. Yellow is the code. We have been treading up the wine press much too long, and we're going to rebel. We are going to rebel. We are going to rebel. So, as I said, how does KPB know? She says everybody deserves a stake in their country. This is a leader willing to open the door of opportunity for every single citizen. Every David, every Davish, every Ahmed, every Jamal. How does she know? She knows because she will tell you when she was growing up, her family rented for an extended time. You see, KPB is just like us. She sees you. She knows the struggle. So when next someone tries to convince you that there's no difference between the PNM and the UNC, as Mr. Lamar tells us, they are not like us. 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 So whilst Raul is investing in his favorite son, as has become the norm, you have headlines in PNM managed area. Sea lots, civil wine sea lots. This is not Gaza, you know, this is sea lots. That is a legacy. Gangs, jail, and La Perouse Cemetery. People are saying residents push for peace. They're pushing for peace. We're reading about Trump bringing peace in Gaza. We have people have to bring peace here because of what the PNM has allowed this country to become. The people of Silat are saying enough is enough during peace walks and in highlighting the impact of violence on families, referencing incidents of women and children being harmed. The persons who are beaten and who are targeted are not criminals. When you see young black men, they are not criminals. They are looking for an opportunity. All they want is the same opportunity that you get, that you didn't even deserve, because had the PNM followed their own rules, you would have been beaten to a frazzle by not one, not two, about three of them. But they take you and put you right in front. So everybody deserves a stake in their country, right? So the people of Mova came here because they have the state, they want the access, they want the door of aspiration open to them, the door of opportunity to be kept open. They are sick and tired of being stereotyped, of being cast aside, and of being branded gang father and members. They are sick and tired of the lack of opportunities in a country of plenty. They are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if Rowley could open the door for Young, then KPB can and must open the door for Jamal and Shakira from Mova communities all across this country. They are tired of being spectators in their own country. They are fed up of expectations unmet, tired of the promises. They are just as ambitious, just as talented, just as hardworking, They need someone to recognize that and give them the access for a stake in their country. Professor Kojo is here, and a few years ago he told me, we have these discussions. A few years ago he told me, he said an Indian woman from Superior will fix it. And that is why he's here. He told me that, he tells me that all the time. He said an Indian woman from Superior will fix it. And I suppose he comes to these meetings to ensure she understands that it is not. It's a duty now, isn't it? Because very soon, Kamla Persad-Bissessar will be Prime Minister of this country. So they could jump high, they could jump high, they could jump low, they could jump high, they could jump low, they could do what they want, they could put it who they want, they could dress up any crapo in their balisé tie, they could recycle, they could give all your brand new second hand. Kamla Persad-Bissessar is the first female Prime Minister, and she will be the second female Prime Minister of Toronto. So moreover, she will not forget you when she becomes Prime Minister. Tunapuna will win when Kamla wins. St. Joseph will win when the UNC wins. Kumuto Manzanilla will win. San Fernando West will win. Pinal will win. Toco Sandy Grande will win. LHD, La Hokata Talparo. When the UNC win, you will win. Embrace, UNC embrace everybody. We need everyone to win. Stay with the people on the ground, because the ground is going to carry us. You don't want to let anybody say, the ground will carry us to victory. We are on the ground. UNC, let's go win, because when UNC wins, everybody wins. I want to thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Baby man said come.
DJ, play that tune. Now you get up and shake and wake up, man. Get up, man. UNC, wake up, wake up. We ready for government. Make some noise.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins,
And the next candidate.
Trinbago wins. Everybody wins.
The next candidate I'm going to introduce to you, a candidate who's going to bring home the seat of Trin City Maloney. There are two bald-head candidates going up for Trin City Maloney, and we have the good-looking one. Make some noise for Richard Smith.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins,
And down in the Southland, as we hear the sweet sounds of music, a roots man, a culture man, a man who is going to take it to that big fat fella called Brian Manning, who had a party for Manning with 23 people. We are going to bring home San Fernando East with John Michael Ali Bokas Maka Million. As I see Dr. Maraj, come down, Lodi. As I see DJ Bola Swift, come down. As I see Dr. Maraj there, who is going to beat Marvelous Marva, I realize today that Rowley and Small Pin, look at the lady that's going to beat Marvelous Marva come general election. Dr. Chaitan Maharaj, make some noise. And I realized that Rowley was getting a little soft-hearted as he retired and quit his job, because he put Marvelous Marva in Ministry of National Security, and he put with him the weave-wearing Keith Scotland. So two of those fellas will now be bosom buddies. They will be bosom buddies in the Ministry of National Security. Bosom buddies, it's English. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to sing for you. In the constituency of Laucatatalparo, we're going to bring snowman and ghostman to bring some entertainment to you. A song called Make a Change.
Baby man said come. When Selassie I call you, you must come. Leave out on the sun and come. Hurry up and come. Hurry up and come.
Good night, everybody.
UNC, everybody looking nice. Pick up on yourself. Lock it at all, probably looking nice.
Mr. Philip Watson on the radio. Your auntie comes.
We taking it this
Shirley. I told you we come to do we thing, yeah? One family, let me show you doing.
We come to make a change.
It's about that time.
And then knock it again.
For a change. We voted for a change. Everything is still the same. And who is there to blame? Like the government in vain. They sink the ship and crash the plane. When the people want change, look, vote them out. My people, now is the time. We fed up by them lies. We see the truth, them hide inside. And if they don't see, then you're blind. My ways for night takes time. My people join the line. It's time to draw the line. We fed up by them. We fed up. Let me hear the people there. Fed up by the P and them. We fed up by the promises. No future for your kids. We fed up by the suffering. We fed up, we want a change. We voted for a change, I say. Everything is still the same. And who is there to blame? Like the government in vain. They sink the ship and crash the plane. Where the people want UNC, move away, it's better for you and me. We move away to UNC, move away, together now TNT. Let me hear you say, no red, only yellow, no red, only yellow, and the comes tell them hello, no red, only yellow. Every time we suffer them I call it and I say, tighten the belt, don't use them stressing. 10 years of work, no help, no blessing. PM, please tell me the message. UNC, move away, it's better for you and me. When the people want change, we voted for a change, I swear. Everything is still the same. And who is there to blame? Like the government in vain. They take the ship and crash the plane. When the people want, them say poor people have to stay poor to make the rich people get richer. Them say the police afraid of criminals, so how the crime will get better. Philip C rockin' with you, Shirley John be rockin' with you, Auntie Kamla be rockin' with you, UNC be rockin' with you, cause we want a change. We voted for a change, I swear. Everything is still the same. And who is there to blame? Like the government in vain. They sink the ship and crash the plane. When the people want change, we wanna say the spot. Wanna say the spot 20, right? We going with it. Red people want red, only yellow. Only yellow, no red. Only yellow, no red. Only yellow. The can tell them yellow, no red. Tell them yellow, no red. Only yellow, no red. Yeah.
Give it one more time, DJ.
Make some noise for snowman and ghostman. Yeah. Make some noise. Oh yeah, that's a big tune. Snowman, ghostman, wheel and come again. There we go. One more time. Snowman, ghostman, get up on there. Boy, thank you, too efficient boy. You him know I give an encore. It have no encore intent. UNC bringing back the culture. We bringing back the culture, the young people, opportunity, sport, education, culture. This is what it is about. Trinidad and Tobago, one nation, all of us united to defeat the PNM. No red, only yellow. Ghostman, and Snowman. Run it!
Let me go. UNC. But we want for change. We voted for a change. Everything is still the same. And who is there to blame? Like the government invade. They sink the ship and crash the plane. When the people want change, vote them out. My people, now is the time. We fed up all them lies. We see the truth, them hide inside. And if they don't see, then they're blind. Now it's a tick and slide. My people join the line. It's time to join the line. We fed up by them, we fed up. The people, then we fed up. The PNM, fed up by the promises. We fed up. The future for your kids. We fed up. Fed up by the suffering. We fed up. We want a change. We voted for a change, I swear. Everything is still the same. And who is there to blame? It's like the government. It's like the ship and crash the plane. Where the people want UNC, move away. It's better for you and me. We move away. UNC, move away. Together now, TNT. Let me hear yes, sir. No red, only yellow. Yeah. Only yellow. No red, only yellow. Yeah. Only yellow. Anti-cams, tell them hello. No red, only yellow. No red, only yellow.
Every time you suffer them a call the blessing. Time to the back, don't use them stressing. 10 years I want no help, no blessing.
PM, please tell me the message.
UNC, move away. It's better for you and me.
What the people want change. We voted for a change, I swear. Everything is still the same. And who is there to blame? Like how we gonna say? It's like the ship and the crashing plane. When the people want, they say people love stay strong, they make the rich people get richer. They say police straight up coming out, so how the crime will get better. Phillips, we rockin' with you. Phillips, we rockin' with you. Just we rockin' with you. Phillips, we rockin' with you. Cause we want a change. We voted for a change, I swear. Everything is still the same. And we will set up change.
Boy, that is Trinidad and Tobago. That is the talent that we have. We deserve a leader who understands and fosters leadership, not fosters corruption. That is why we will vote What's is shocking. What's and more what's. Ladies and gentlemen, when the UNC wins, everyone wins. When UNC wins, Kamla Persad-Bissessar will be sworn in as Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and she will be accompanied by her husband of 52 years, Dr. Bissessar. A man swear in as Prime Minister today, and his secret girl had to sneak in, not as a media reporter, not as the editor of the Guardian political investigative journalist. She had to go in quiet. The man shame, she shame. First time you have a prime minister that nobody loves. That is PNM. That is not leadership. Our country deserves more. When I tell you, if you all think back, I know all your UNCers listen and remember good. All you remember, I told you all a story about Stuart Smallpin Young when he was in St. Mary's College. I told you that he was a bully and that he was bullying a little skinny Indian boy. for years, over and over, bullying him, battering him, abusing him. Till one day that little skinny Indian boy take a baton and beat Small Pin and throw him in the dustbin. They called Small Pin from then Dustbin Terrier. Do you remember that story? Y'all thought the Douglas make up that? Y'all thought that Anil just don't like Small Pin because he dotish, incompetent, elitist, and he's a mama pool? Well, let me read something posted to Facebook today by a lady called Nadia Khan. Listen to what Nadia Khan had to say. She said, "My brother Imran was abused and bullied while at St. Mary's College. He was to sit his O-levels and was expelled as he used force with a baton to defend himself from the said bully. He never had the opportunity to sit his exams. The bully and the bullies were never penalized for their actions. They sat their exams without any remorse. The trauma of being bullied in his high school years still lives with him today. The wound has healed, but the scars remain. That bully was Stuart Young. The irony of this, today he gets the opportunity to now bully a nation." My UNC family, my people of Trinidad and Tobago, if it's one thing we would not accept at any point in time, is the bullying of our children. When you are in politics, you must see other children as your own. When you see other children in pain, you must feel it like it's your child. That's when you will be a good politician. You will be a great minister, and you will be a great prime minister like Kamla Persad-Bissessar, because she sees children, each and every one, as her own. So when you have a mama pool like Stuart Young, bullying a little boy so he couldn't take exams, and then his elitist life make sure that he could take his exams while the other boy suffers, we all must band together to beat that bully. We must reject the bully. We must reject Small Pin. We must reject the PNM. Jolene John just told you about a young man who came up on a UNC platform and spoke from the heart. The next day, that Stuart Small Pin Young, that bully, used the power of a nation, the power of a portfolio, the power of a ministry, the power of a minister of national security to bully that youth man, to embarrass that youth man, to research and to bring out things on that youth man in public. We say, fire burn all bullies. UNC will deal with them one by one. And to introduce some of the people who are going to help Kamla Persad-Bissessar defeat the PNM bully. People who are here to defend our leader from those who pretend to be on the inside but are really red, ready, and full of obia on the outside. They manifest themselves and they're welcome to go. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Let the UNC stand strong in the belief that we are here to support one another, to build our nation, and to save our country from the ravages of the PNM. I want you all to make some noise and continue to make some noise as I introduce to you some of our MPs and senators who are here. Our deputy political leader, the Honorable David Lee, Arnold Ram, the Benjamin Tanku, Rujanat Indar Singh, Senator Tim Gopi Singh, Rudal Munilal, and welcome a special guest, a man who's a historian who understands the patriotism, the beauty, and the brilliance of Trinidad and Tobago. Please welcome Professor Selwyn Cudjoe. The Peppermouth MP, hard-working MP, Barry Padarad. I already introduced some of you. We also have Chaguanas East, make some noise, Vandana Mohet. And one of the hardest working, greatest ministers in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Jack Austin Warner. We have the MP for Faizabad, Lakram Bodo. We have Dr. Rishi Sicharan, the MP for St. Augustine, the statuesque, brilliant Khadija Amin, the Honorable Ravi Ratiram. I see the lead in the Senate, a man who takes the war to the PNM and has them rocking, rolling, and getting seizures in the Senate, the Honorable Senator Wade Ma. Another senatorial colleague. I see my colleague, a man who has brought Colmimbat to the knees, who brought him out of the portfolio of finance, and now he's in public utilities because of Senator Damian Lyda. And bring in my MP, the MP who's going to ensure that Kamla Persad-Bissessar wins the next election and is Prime Minister, coming on stage from all the way in Maruga, Tableland. Please welcome Michelle Benjamin. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now invite a man who wants to bring you some greetings. A man who's prepared to talk at any time. He brought down Colm Imbot, so I must give him applause. He dealt with him with VAT refunds, with the Forex crisis, with the inability to create jobs. I bring to you to give you greetings on behalf of the UNC team in the Senate for 3 minutes. Senator, the Honorable Damian Lyda.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins.
UNC Pussy, let me hear some noise! Tonight, in a cottage meeting tonight, I seen more people than in Woodford Square with the PNM. Make some noise! Brothers and sisters, it is clear. It is clear today that we saw a PNM party fall apart by the seams. We saw a Prime Minister Stuart Young in desperation appointing ministers today. And you know who he removed? Oh God, I'm going to get so lonely in the Senate now. He removed Colm Imbert as Minister of Finance, and he removed them in shame today. Brothers and sisters, we must never forget, when we go to those polls in some months from now, even though they remove Colm Imbert, never forget that under Colm Imbert, he has reduced this economy by more than 20%. It is 20% smaller today than when Kamla Persad-Bissessar was in power. Today, under Colin Burt, there are more than 64,000 jobs less today than under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Today, we have moved in the ease of doing business, and if you're a small businessman in this country today, I want you to listen. Every businessman in this country who has 3, 4, and 5 workers working for them, single mothers, all you remember this. The ease of doing business in this country now has fallen apart. We have seen this government collapse the ease of doing business. It is harder to open a bank account. It is harder to trade between borders. Right now today, it is harder to get a T&Tech and WASA approval if you want to get that. But brothers and sisters, you know what impacts everybody in this country? When you have to stand up in line to get $200 in a bank account. I say to you, shame the PNM today. Shame to the PNM today. Shame to Colin Burt today. When business people in this country have to wait for their VAT refunds, where more than $7 billion are owing to companies in this country today, that is why Colin Burt is where he is today, you know. That is why he's been relegated to the Ministry of Public Utilities. But you know something? They have a fella in the audience here today who's going to deal with Colin Burt. All you put your hands together for Barry Palarat, who is going to deal with Colin Burt when he goes inside of there. Let me tell you something today. What is impacting every business person in this country today, and every single resident in this country today, is that of crime. Every single business today has to deal with the expense of crime. They have to buy cameras, security equipment. They have to pay people to move their money from their business to the bank today. That is the expense you have to do today. And more importantly, they have to secure themselves from bandits running in their business place and holding them hostage and holding their wives and their children hostage. That is the reality of what we deal with today. But brothers and sisters, I ain't going to say too much more. I'm not going to say too much more. There is a new Minister of Finance, and I'm putting him on notice today. I'm putting him in notice today. This fella they call Dan Paul. I like to eat your meals on desks.
When UNC wins,
I leave it there. But I'm going to tell Dan Paul, we are going to come and deal with you, Mr. Dan Paul. Emerge, hard luck, brother. Later.
tell your neighbor, tell your friend.
Senator Damian Lider.
Rise and shine.
Oh, you cut that music, cut that music.
Father, now is the time
Cut that music.
to decide. If you want to leave,
DJ, cut it.
your ex by the rising sun.
Nice.
When UNC wins,
Ladies and gentlemen,
when UNC wins,
DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, politics is a very serious thing. It is not a game like what the PNM is playing. Sack in, sack out, drink a scotch and eat a shrimps. It is a job that impacts people's lives in a meaningful manner. This team of people that I've introduced to you, full of disparate skills, but heart, soul, and mind, and care about people. Because a leader chooses people in his or her likeness. And here comes the leader now. Please stand and welcome the leader of the United National Congress, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, when UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins, everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and her husband, Dr. Bissessar. As I was saying, while we love the speeches, the entertainment, the music, the drama, the pecan, the bacchanal, politics is a serious thing. Our country is in a dire circumstance. We are one step away from a failed nation. We need a prime minister who's an empath, who feels the pain of the citizens and therefore rules from her heart, uses her brain to bring cabinet notes to impress upon you, the citizens, that the resources must be used to your benefit, not to recusals. You won't hear Kamla Persad-Bissessar get up here tonight and defend a minister of energy who recused himself from the cabinet 121 times. And Rowley has the bold-faced audacity to say that that was okay. That Stuart Smallpin, young brother, is just a mere employee. He is not a mere employee. He is a CEO of a financial institution. The owners are shareholders, and the CEO is the big boss. The CEO gets huge pay packages, and when the company does well, the CEO gets bonuses. So if Stuart Smallpin Young's brother company, before Smallpin became a minister in 2015, had zero public sector work, and after 4 years, the government of the PNM gave him $4.5 billion in work, the CEO would benefit by bonuses in his pay package. For a man to recuse himself 121 times is corrupt in the highest order. The PNM uses the cabinet to enrich themselves. Kamla's cabinet provides service to you. And we check to see, looking for a signal, if the honorable leader is ready. The honorable leader is ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise and welcome our leader, one leader, the Member of Parliament for Superior, the leader of the opposition, and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins, everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC
wins, okay. UNC family. I can't hear you. UNC family. Good evening to all of you. I am so happy to join this massive crowd. Give it up for La Hokata Talparo and for everyone else who's here. Look, you know and I know. Yes, that you have had other leaders before me. But I want to remind you, you will never ever have a leader who loves you as much as I do. I have always loved you. I have always loved your children. And I always will. In everything that I have done or tried to do, I have always acted out of love and care for you. They have beaten, they have battered, they have tried everything in the book and outside the book to bring me down. But they have never succeeded. They will never, ever break me. Because you see, political leadership is not about a weightlifting championship. It's not about a running race competition. What leadership is, it is about competence. It is about love and care, empathy. It is about intelligence. It is about compassion. It is about shared love and experiences. And so it is not who could lift more weights. It is not about who could run faster. It is about who can get things done. Not about those who could shout, wait, Mark, the loudest. It is about working with people, serving people, not bullying. Selwyn, could you give it up? Welcome the professor who is with us tonight. Selwyn always tells us it's not about bullying. It is not about berating people. Political leadership is about caring, about service, and about love. And so let me just share with you tonight. I ran a bit late because we had an accident on the road. I always say I believe in the goodness of God, and God is great, so that I'm here with you tonight in spite of that accident. And the others involved in the accident, everyone is fine. So let's give praise and thanks to the Lord, because He is good and great. So let me bring my greetings to all the tremendous speakers who were here, who spoke before me. Big it up for them. I listened to them on the radio. And I thank them for their love and support for our great party. I want to especially give it up and big it up to my sister, Deputy Leader Jillian John. And I want to acknowledge my brother, Austin Jack Warner, who is with us here. All the candidates, all the MPs and senators and all persons gathered here this evening. But tonight, I think, is a night about a bright, brilliant, handsome young man, Philip Watts, our candidate for Lahokata Talparo. Boy, I hear the man say something about some bulb and dim and whatever. But when you, the brightest light bulb, left the P&M, their lights went out, they had a blackout. So big it up for Philip Watts here with us tonight. Again, greetings to all of you and thank you for sharing. I have a lot of thoughts here to share. And we live in a very important time, a very crucial time. Together tonight we stand united. Together we aspire, Prof. Together we achieve. UNC, listen to me. We are a united coalition of interests. We will fight this election, UNC, United Coalition of Interests. And together, the UNC, with the coalition of interests, we will be the glue of love, which holds and binds our country together. After 10 destructive years, I say we, UNC, United Coalition of Interests, we will glue our country together again with love and, of course, above all, with service. We will glue together the broken fragments that this government has splintered our beloved country into. But we'll do so with competence and, again, with love. You know, they're trying when you listen to them sometimes, and I really must be honest. Most times I really don't listen. But, Prof, you know what? I read. So I'll pick up the transcript and look at the reports. And when you see what they're saying, they're trying to scare you. They're trying to scare the people of Trinidad and Tobago about losing. That if they lose, what happens to you? That's a scare when you listen, oh God, what will happen? And in that, when they say what you will lose, I want to remind you of these things. You must ask them, where is your increase in salary? You lost it. Where is your chance of promotion? You lost it. Where is your child's laptop? Lost it. Where is your life of freedom? Lost. Where is our foreign exchange? Lost. Where are your savings? Lost. And where are the 5,000 murdered citizens of our land? Lost. Gone forever. Where are the 5,000 dead from COVID? Lost forever. And very soon, your pension will also be lost if you make the mistake and put your ex to vote for them. Every single thing that you can call yours has been lost under this wicked, incompetent Rowley and Stuart Young government. Don't let them try to fool you, you know. They are the two sides, bruv, of the same coin. Stuart Young is bolted to the chest of Keith Christopher Rowley. They were there riding shotgun for 10 years. So don't come today to say you're not part of that Rowley destructive regime. You are the other side of the face. I heard JJ say it. Was it JJ or one of you said it tonight? That Stuart Young is Rowley, except Stuart Young has a hair on his head. They're on the same sides of the same coin with the same failed promises. So, in this time, we lost 4 divers in a Paria tragedy. Where was Stuart Young as Minister of Energy? The economy has lost Petrotrin, the refinery. And we are losing the Point Lisas Industrial Estate. Parents have lost about 19 babies, Dr. Tim, in a hospital. Where you should be the safest, we lost them. And what is it called? In NICU, that unit there for neonatal babies. Citizens, you have lost in this 10 years over 65,000 jobs. You have lost the ability to travel freely to the United Kingdom. Let me remind you, when we were in government, the United Kingdom came to my government, the partnership government, and said, we're going to take away your free travel. We are going to impose the same thing, a visa restriction. But my government worked really hard. You remember that, Rudy? We worked closely. And for 10 years, that visa restriction was never put in place. They took this wicked Stuart Young and Rowley to have that visa placed back. And don't feel that is only for people who want to joyride and go as tourists. It's businessmen. It's our students. I heard somebody mention if you want to go to court, I think it was Rudy, at the Privy Council, you have to get a visa. So Rowley trying to blame and Stuart Young trying to blame what? Colonialism. There's only one people you have to blame. And who is that? The Rowley and Stuart Young P&M to blame for that. The finance minister lost $3 billion. In which country in the world you cannot account for $3 billion and you still stayed as minister? This man now lost $3 billion, the Auditor General told us. He's so good, he never lost his work. They give him a next work. They put him in charge of water. If the man couldn't protect your money, you think he'll take care and provide water for you? Are you real? We will lose the water too. You're sure right. We lose that too. So, we have lost 10 years. I'm asking you tonight, will you allow the P&M to make you lose another 10 years, another 5 years of your life? I'm asking, I want to hear you. Do you want Young to make you lose and for your children to lose another 5 years. No way, no way, no way, no how. And so this election is about you winning. This election is about your children winning. Because you see, when UNC wins, everybody wins. Everybody. And today, in addition to all these things that you have lost, today you lost your democracy. You lost the right to choose your prime minister. They betrayed PNM supporters. They took away those supporters the right to choose their leader for their party. And today, they took away the rights of every citizen in this country to elect, to select and elect a prime minister. This is what is called a bloodless coup. It is a bloodless constitutional coup. We hear about coups happening, coup d'etats happening in other parts of the world. I'm sure the learned professor will tell us more about these coups in the world, but there have been coups without a drop of blood shed. That is what has happened under this government, under Rowley anointing his Gary Sobers. They have exercised a coup d'etat in Trinidad and Tobago. Today, our country was sold by Rowley, the young family and their friends and financiers. And you know what is worse? You know what is worse? They were aided and abetted by 20 coward PNM MPs. Don't let them get off the hook. They were aided and abetted. And I see some of them, boy, what's the word, Prof? Wailing. You watch them on the stage. They're more happy than Stuart Young. Cowards. 20 PNM coward MPs. They sat idly by. And guess why? You know why? So they could eat our food. To keep the work. They sat and allowed this coup d'etat to put another clown, an incompetent minister as prime minister. And you know, if these 20 coward MPs, PNM, I want you to be warned, if they cannot defend their own party members, will they ever be able to defend you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago? Somebody talk about Foster. Where are you, Foster? Foster, who wanted to lead, put his tail between his legs and say, yes, sir, yes, massa, yes, massa, and sign the paper. Sign the paper. Coward. Because why? It's eater food time. One back seat, one back the walk. Understand it, you know? They're not happy, you know. I see one of them, a lady who was my classmate in law school. Really wonderful human being. She danced more than the rest of them. When her name was out front. Why? Seat time. Eater food time. And so I want you to remember, again, if these 20 PNM MPs could not stand up for themselves and their own party, they will never stand up for you. Today our country was sold, signed, sealed, and delivered to the friends and family of the PNM financiers. JJ used to tell us, Rudal, when we gave out the keys for all these houses, we used to have this song, signed, sealed, and delivered, because we're giving house to people. They have signed, sealed, and delivered the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago to the PNM and Stuart Young's friends and family and finances. And I want you to notice something, you know. Whilst Daddy Young is fighting on traditional media, Stuart Young wants to fight on social media. Let me remind you why. Only this week, in this month, the High Court handed down a judgment where Daddy Young went to court to sue the Express and Ramdas and others because they published all the recusals from Stuart Young that he took in the parliament. They published and showed from documents coming from the cabinet secretariat that those most involved when Stuart walked out the cabinet in recusals was Stuart Young's father and his daddy. So Daddy Young went to court, and the courthouse said, hey, what you complaining about? You never denied the hundreds of recusals. What he was crying and complaining about in the court was they call him a broker. But the court said, nothing is wrong with the word broker. It doesn't defame you, Devish. There's no defamation in calling somebody a broker. And so he lost the case in the court. But Stuart Young at that same time had threatened to sue Kamla. He said Kamla crossed the line. Well, up to today, that's about 4 or 5 years ago, he has not sued. Because again, we have brilliant lawyers in the UNC. Let's give them a big up and a hand of applause. And you know, these financiers and Daddy Young, they have chosen and handpicked a prime minister who was fighting down $500 for a baby milk grant for single mothers. Not too long ago. $500 when right now there's billions of dollars jumping up for their friends and financiers. And so, Brother Angus Young also was involved in this eat of food. Billions of dollars in contracts of the state. But Stuart Young did not want poor babies, poor mothers, to get $500 to buy milk for their babies. There's a video clip, you can take a look at it.
I see it. I see the young mothers in some of the areas that I represent going through the struggles of being able to provide for their children and the difficult circumstances. And we're not going to do exactly what the leader of the opposition said, put the future generations in debt for populist decisions. I was shocked at the end of the leader of the opposition's contribution to say that they will reintroduce the baby grant. I was shocked to hear at the type of policies that they're openly saying they're going to abuse the taxpayers with. Not a single one is responsible.
Baby grant, Stuart Young say he's shocked. Well, Stuart Young, when the UNC forms the government, we will bring back the baby grant for mothers. We will. We will bring it back. I said that was shameful. When you look at that video, that is your unelected, illegitimate prime minister. A big man, fighting down, Mr. McIntyre, fighting down milk for babies. Helpless, innocent babies. That's the man they have anointed as prime minister. But we can go further. I have here a document for the Cabinet Secretariat. This is dated March 14th, 2025. This is from the Cabinet Secretariat of Trinidad and Tobago. I think there is one that Kevin can put up on the screen. And it is addressed to Mr. Anthony Dobson. Mr. Dobson works with the OWTU. Let's give him a round of applause because he wrote the cabinet. And he asks for access to documents under the Freedom of Information Act with respect to the total amount of recusals from discussions, deliberations, and decisions on cabinet notes for the Honorable Stuart Young and Faris Al-Rawi for the years 2015 to 2024. Now remember, we used to tell you was 101 recusals by Stuart Young. But this latest document tells us that it has now reached up to the end of last year. That has now increased. Stuart Young has recused himself because of a conflict of interest related to his family and his friends 137 times. 137 times. Do you know for the cabinet sits once a week? Did you all know that? You know how many weeks in a year? 52. This man walked out the cabinet 137 times. That's what? Over a year. Going into 2 years. This man walked out the cabinet. 3 years. Thank you, Prof. 3 years. 137 times. His friend, his daddy, and his brother, and all his friends giving out big $1 million contracts. And they can't even give the workers of this country 4%. They can't do it. Will not do it. But Rowley taking the $87,000 per month. And he has now ensured that if Stuart Young serves one day as Prime Minister, Stuart Young will now get the same $87,000 per month. Per month, 8 for the rest of his life. But remember, their plan always was not to help the poor, but to make the rich richer, including themselves, 137 times. Because someone close to him was going to benefit from $1 million contracts that were put on the cabinet table. And at the heart of these recusals by Stuart Young is, guess who? Brother Angus Young, and of course, Daddy Young. A whole family enterprise when you look at what has been happening. Faris, we said, and we are told from the same document, had to recuse themselves 83 times up to the end of last year. You think those people in the cabinet dealing with issues and discussions, how to deal with crime, how to save babies in the hospital, how to deal with infrastructure, how to give our children laptops, how to deal with education, all the things that you need, how to decrease the cost of living. When they sit in a cabinet, they're busy passing contracts for daddy and brother and friends and family. So Faris, 83 times. These numbers do not lie. This is coming from the horse's mouth, the Cabinet Secretariat of Trinidad and Tobago. And so billions of dollars. Stuart's wrong record shows he cannot even sit in a cabinet meeting without having to excuse himself. As he told me, almost 3 years of meetings, this man popping out, going out. He will pop up and leave the cabinet every time a cabinet note is open wide on the table, recommending his friends and his family. And remember, that is your money. In our system of government, we have no deputy prime minister. And as you know, the law tells us a cabinet is comprised of a prime minister and an attorney general. First, and then others, but those two are mandatory. So what will happen? Who will share the cabinet? When cabinet notes come with recommendations to give millions of billions of dollars to Stuart Young's family and friends, when that is on the table, the Prime Minister to get up another 137 times? Is that what we are looking forward with what they're calling this change in government? Shame. You're right, it's a shame. You think Young will leave the table? And if he leaves the table, you think the cabinet will be properly constituted without him? And when he gets up and he take a stroll outside, he go in and call daddy and brother, hey, they're fixing up inside the cabinet right now. Telling about another couple billions that might be on the way for them. The question is, which minister in the cabinet will dare to vote against Young's family and friends? Which one? Not one. Not one, because they'll get fired in the morning. He's now the Prime Minister. Which one? They're all in the chokehold of big business and of the friends and the family of financiers of this Prime Minister. Imagine major decisions about the economy, health, national security, education are being made. And this illegitimate Prime Minister, he's sitting outside cabinet room, smiling and chatting with daddy, twiddling his thumbs, waiting for the 20 coward PNM persons, MPs sitting inside the cabinet to vote. Not one will say no. Not one. So when you go to vote, remember you vote UNC, because when UNC wins, everybody wins. Everybody wins. And then when the note is approved, Stuart walk back in, nice smile on his face, $1 billion grin, knowing full well his family and friends have just got another financial windfall. I say again, who in that cabinet will stand up to him and his brother and his daddy? Who will challenge the conflicts of interest when the head of government himself is entangled in them? No one will refuse. And so I read Rowley on Sunday saying, that is the proper thing to do. If you have a conflict of interest, You recuse yourself, you get up and walk outside and let the rest of the guys deal with it. Rowley, that is puerile. That is infantile. If one day you get up and walk out the cabinet because you're recusing on some issue, okay. But 137 times? That is not to be tolerated. 137 times. Almost 3 years over. So Rowley is defending that yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday, yes, so much has happened. Yesterday he's defending that by saying, well, that is the proper thing to do. Recuse yourself. The PNM now follows this pattern. We have seen for years the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The PNM finances are secure and comfortable because they have yachts. I ain't jealous nobody the yacht, huh? But they have these things. They have big house down the islands. They have fancy cars. They have posh restaurants. The rest of the country catching the nenen. The rest of the country seeing trouble. This is a mockery of democracy. Young's track record of a 137 conflict of interest recusals, fighting down $500 baby grant, shows exactly whom he is. When people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. This is a mockery. They just don't care. They don't care. Because he born with a silver spoon, privileged. What he knows about a mother can't get baby milk, Vandania. They don't know about that. When I put this method, this strategy, or this policy in place when I was Prime Minister, is because we had mothers going in the supermarket thieving baby milk. I do not condone anybody thieving anything, but good God, we have to help those who cannot help themselves. And that is why we did that baby grant. And so, here we are, on the eve of another election. The PNM is divided. I think we have a video, Kevin, please. PNM is divided. Yes, Karen. What we have witnessed today, illegal swearing of the unelected young, that is a blatant disregard for our Constitution, as the PNM desperately scrambles to hold on to power through deception and manipulation. The appointment of Young as Prime Minister without the mandate of the people through a general election, in my respectful view, is an unlawful act of desperation to hold on to power. It is a clear attempt to manufacture the illusion, the semblance of change, in the hope that you will forget the last 10 years of pain, suffering, abuse, and nothingness that Young was a major part of. But the people of TNT are not fools. The PNM is shuffling, as others told you, the same deck of failures. They're hoping to convince you to give them a chance. To give them a chance to continue terror and destruction. And I'll tell you something, they're shuffling the same pack of cards, but they have no trump in that pack of cards. No trump whatsoever. And what about this lady, Camille Robinson-Regis? They told me people, all on the social media, people are saying she doesn't have a practicing certificate, she's not registered with the Law Association. Let her come out and tell us that's not true. But all day, because there's a role, we have lawyers here with us, we'll tell you have to be on the roll. By the way, Jackie does have to pay some money to get onto that roll. So let her tell us, is it true, is it not true? So we're hearing that, but let me remind you, Munilal did somewhere, let me remind you. This is not a new direction with Camille now as the AG. It is a sinking ship, scrambling for lifeboats. We are in a gear, they have placed us into reverse gear, reverse drive. Does Camille's appointment inspire confidence in anyone? Does Camille inspire confidence in any of you? And the answer is no. No way. This is not, definitely not to inspire confidence. Well, you know, careful what you wish for. It could turn around and bite you, you know. So WPC Camille wanted to lock up Monilar. Up today, he's not convicted in any court of law. She better careful. Because I want to remind you, she was credit card Camille. She is the one under police investigation at the moment. Could end up with the police warrant looking for her. So let's talk about this new aging. Others have raised it. Just 1 or 2 points. What is Camille famous for? Credit card Camille. Well, Monilal didn't want to say what she used the government credit card for, but he said personal items. I'm prepared to go along with that. And credit card Camille. You know what she's famous for too? What Trump go do we? What Trump go do we? Well, we are finding out day after day what Trump could do us, Miss Camille. So short-sighted you all were. So what Trump could do, we seeing what Trump can do. So this is the famous credit card Camille, the statement, what Trump could do, and many other things we go into on another day. But you see, you're an Attorney General, Rudy raised a point. You represent all these money laundering, so on, so on, so. And we talk about a credit card, that's one aspect. But this is the bank account that the lady was under investigation. You said it, and still not cleared. For where did she get the $143,000 to put in a bank? And the police investigation said she told them she'd take it from her next bank, but their investigation is never came from another bank. So up to today, where did that come from, Camille? And Rowley yesterday boasting about, can Kamla say nobody take money and do money and what money? Have you looked at Camille? She put $143,000 and up to today, cannot tell you where that money came from. But let me share something else with you. Explain your wealth, yes, you're correct. In the past 23 years, Camille was a member of the parliament before. The records, the online records only goes back for a couple of years. So I'm just giving you for a period of time. She has been an MP or in the parliament from 2002. So for 23 years, she has served in the 8th parliament, the 10th parliament, the 11th parliament, and now the 12th parliament. In those 4 parliaments in which she served in the last 23 years, about 319 bills have been brought to parliament. Ms. Camille has spoken on only 54 of 319 bills in the parliament. We know it, she doesn't speak in the parliament. Well, let's see now with AG if she will speak. Look, David, he's smiling down there. He knows that. She just likes to shout across the floor, but she will not get up to speak. And you know, I don't know if you could remember. I can't remember a single case this woman fight in any courthouse. When Serge, you could remember any, Dev? I don't remember any. She will tell us, but I don't remember any. Saji doesn't even speak in the parliament, and AG has a job, you know, as you know, to present bills, defend their bills. So in that parliament for 23 years, this lady has only spoken on 54 bills. Let's see if that changes. Other people gave the reasons why they gave her the job. I think you said it. Other people didn't want the work. They just didn't want the work. I'm moving along. I've shared with you some of the things with Camille now in that seat. I've shared with you that they want to reinvent themselves by appearing to be new, but it's the same pack of cards, as I said, without any Trump in it. I want you to look at a video here now, as we move to the present time. And this is a person who is saying yesterday that the PNM did nothing for her. Can we put it on, please?
San Fernando West loves her party. She, however, says they have done nothing for her.
How you feel about, you know, Dr. Rowley leaving?
No way.
What has he done, you know, in your tenure? What would be some of the things that you remember?
Well, nothing for me. But the road and them not good, the houses and them definitely not good. And they don't come up on me corner to look for anything, to see anything, but they always come in when it's time for election, they come in.
So what will you be telling them when they come this time?
Give me what I need before I put my hand there for you.
Okay, so she attended the conference yesterday, the rally, the convention, and she said nothing is only when election time comes. So Philip Watts was on point that they will come knocking on your door. Now is election time when they ignored you for the past 5 and then another 5, 10 years. And as Philip tells us, that ain't working. That ain't working this time wrong. It will not work. It will not work. They will come to your doors begging for your vote again. But run them. Run them without violence because they have done nothing except destroy our country. So based on that, what I saw yesterday, I want to speak directly to PNM supporters tonight. You may not like me, that's okay. But words will not hurt you. Just take a listen. You have stood, PNM supporters, you have stood by a PNM party which has taken your loyalty for granted for years. They have fed you empty promises. The financiers and the brother and the daddy, big money going to them. But what about you? What about your children? I say to you, you don't have to be PNM till you're dead. I remember Mr. Warner on a campaign in the past would go on the platform and he said, these people telling you they're PNM till they're dead. Mr. Warner would say, well, dead now. Why you just not dead now? But today I'm calling the UNC support, the PNM supporters, to join with the UNC, the United Coalition of Interests, so that when UNC wins, everybody wins. Everybody wins. They don't want me to talk about blood because it's the blood of your children running on the streets, running in our neighborhoods. That red blood is mostly, Professor will confirm it, it is the blood of young African men being murdered in PNM constituencies under a PNM government. That is the red blood flowing in our streets. And that is why they don't want us to call them out, but we will call them out. There's nothing racist about this. This is about PNM destruction and their failure to help those most in need wherever they are. Too many of our children have already died under the PNM. Too many are suffering under their reckless rule. Now is the time, I say to PNM supporters, wake up, rise up, and leave the PNM which has betrayed you all these years. You know, they didn't even give you a choice to select your own leader in the PNM. And if you don't care for yourselves, look, put your children first, put their lives. Stand with the United Coalition of Interests. Stand with the UNC, defend your children from gangs, from being slaughtered. Rowley has abandoned you. Stuart Young, the 137 times recuser, is now being forced upon you. PNM supporters, did you choose Stuart Young to be your Prime Minister? No. Trinidad and Tobago, did you choose Stuart Young to be your Prime Minister? The answer is no. So I invite you into the home of the UNC, the United Coalition of Interests. You know your lives and children were safer under my UNC government. I'm inviting you to come to a home which loves you and will take care of you. A home where democracy is alive. A home where the people come first. A home where you will not be forgotten. Come to the United Coalition of Interests. Come to the UNC. To come where you and your family will have a future of prosperity, a future of security, and a future of peace. Our doors are wide open. Brighter days are coming under the rising sun. Come into the light. Free yourself from the blood and blight of Rowley and Young and all those in the PNM. I tell you, I'm a leader who loves this country. A leader who loves every one of you. Every time I speak, I tell the United Coalition of Interests, the UNC family loves you. We love you all. Ask yourselves in all these years, have you ever heard Rowley or Young or any current PNM MP tell PNM supporters and membership, tell them that they love them, that they care about them? Never. Every platform they go onto is berating people, buffing people. They don't even love their own members. You think they will love you and your children. Everyone in TNT identifies the United Coalition of Interests, the UNC, as the only vehicle which stands for the poor, the working and middle classes. These are the people who have carried the heaviest burdens of this government. The children of the working classes do not matter to the PNM. This government does not care that your children are being beaten in schools, murdered in the streets. They do not care about food prices and taxes that are so high. So while young friends and family toting billions, 4 billion in financing contracts, the poor, working classes, they're toting coffins of their murdered relatives. They're toting coffins. While their government finances toting big plates of lobster and Hyatt, the young, the middle class toting smaller and smaller bags of groceries. While these ministers and the children believe it, they have 24-hour police security. Everyone is toting the burden of terror and fear. For too long we have suffered under the weight of this government, which has promised much, but delivered very little. Their legacy is one of broken promises, lost opportunities of a people left behind. I say tonight, together we can forge a new path. A path which will lead Trinidad and Tobago and you and your families to prosperity. And to a Trinidad and Tobago where justice prevails. Our hope, our plan, our vision and mission are to make TNT win for you and together with you. I want people to stop merely existing, Damien, from day to day. We must start living, real alive. I want you to win with joy and happiness and love, and not to lose again with hurt, pain, and fear. So what matters most to all of us? What matters most to you? Let's talk about that. Jobs, education, healthcare, safety, the economy. What matters most to our children, our citizens, real issues that impact on the quality of your life. People are being forced out of their homes by gangsters. Children are living under self-imposed curfews, beaten and bullied to a frazzle in school. You drop off your children in school and you are so scared for the rest of the day for their safety. Businesses are being extorted by criminals. Your sons are being forced to join gangs at gunpoint. Gangsters are disrespecting your parents. Your wives and daughters are being raped and beaten. You're struggling with high food prices, high mortgage payments, rent, and stagnant salaries if you happen to have a job. You also have to pay property and inheritance taxes, increased water, electricity, and fuel. Your homes and crops are flooded. Criminals, PDL larceny, stealing your crops. You can't get a job. Your mental health is destroyed. You're afraid that if you get sick, you can't get proper health care. Your angry criminals are invading your homes. So fear, stress dominate the minds and hearts of too many. And again I say, do not be fooled. Stuart Young is the same old story. There is nothing new about him. He was the main co-conspirator with Rowley for the last 10 years, bullying and pressuring you. No amount of rebranding can change that fact. Now, Damien, I'm told from some people in the West, you from the West, that they brought down some Disney PR people to train Stuart Young how to smile. So what you're getting is a Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse smile from Stuart Young. And Disney people training him to try to win your votes. So what is the legacy from Rowley and Stuart Young? It's a destructive legacy. Those two cannot be separated. I said it. Kyle, Young is bolted to the chest of Keith Rowley. Young is Rowley and Rowley is Young. They have no empathy or care for anyone. in their speeches and interviews over the last several days, did they speak of any accomplishments? Not a single accomplishment, because what? They have none, no accomplishment. They have no record of achievements. After almost a decade in office, they can't say what they built, what they did, or whom they helped. They couldn't say where the country is currently, what needs to be done, what we need to do, where we failed, where they succeeded, or what they tried to. They couldn't say it. In exit interviews recorded for All Prosperity, the man complained about making Sharon pay the light bill. This is your last speech as Prime Minister. You talk on you make Sharon pay light bill. But I hope I pronounce this right. Corporal, what kind of baby man or baby man is this? What kind of person is this? In your last speech, before you pack your bags and run away, you're talking about Sharon paying the light bill. They have also resorted to the well-known tired style of belly aching, blaming everybody, blaming the media, blame Kamla, blame the United Coalition of Interests, they blame the UNC. Last speeches and interviews were vacuous diatribes and laid bare the shallowness of the man for all to see. He exposed himself to show you all what we have always seen in him. He has always had and will always have the mentality and behavior of an immature little boy. To help him, I compiled a short list of some points showing the destructive legacy of Rowley and Young. Don't take your mind and say Rowley gone, you know. Man gone, Monday. Rowley is still there, pulling the strings, the puppet master of Stuart Young. So what did they do? They left the economy 20% smaller than when they found it after we went out of office. The economy's engine is the energy sector. It is now 31% smaller than how we left it in 2015. And who is the Minister of Energy? Stuart Young. And I see they leave him as Minister of Energy, boy. The man was a failure at every ministry, including the Ministry of Energy. You leave him there. But you know why? It is because he's also bolted to the chest of Maduro in Venezuela. All the deals going down with Venezuela, Stuart Young, Rudy, how many times you tell us he fly? 45 times he going to Venezuela. And I know he do have a lady friend there. So he was going to make deals with Maduro. Well, I'm not really sure about that, but I know he was going to make deals with Maduro. They presided over forex supply crisis, crippling private sector, especially the small and medium enterprises. They, together with Imbert, presided over the collapse in foreign reserves from US 10 billion in September 2015, when we were there. They have brought it down to about US 5 billion in February 2025. Where the money gone? Where all that money gone? They found an operational refinery at Pointe-à-Pitre. They closed it down in 2018. They failed Houston gas negotiations. They were outsmarted. Remember I say he's the best salesman for TNT, Stuart Young and Rowley, going up to Houston to negotiate. They were outsmarted. And they created, because of that, the emerging industrial rust belt we have, which runs from Point Lisas to Pointe-à-Pitre to Point Fortin. Both of them put all our eggs in the Maduro Venezuela basket, betting our future on the elusive dragon deal. They failed to diversify our economy. He said, Rowley, he said, you remember when he went on TV and he said that word diversification is an annoying word. Yes, and he was flapping. Annoying word. They failed to diversify. So everything in the dragon basket and that go and fly away too. They, together with Imbert, supervised the downgrade of our credit rating. Don't forget that. When we left in 2015, we left a Standard & Poor credit rating of A. You know what is A? Top of the class. When you get an A, you know, you did well. They have brought us down now, credit rating to B minus, Prof. Minus. They doubled our foreign debt. They directed the current wage negotiation stagnation coupled with rising prices. They decimated the middle class and the most vulnerable. They have our country in the throes of a failed state of emergency because of an out-of-control violent crime scourge. Young Heinz Rowley presided over the bloodiest years in our nation's history. Don't forget that. And Young, as others said, was Minister of National Security. They presided over the bloodiest years in our nation's history. 2018, 2019, 2022, 2023, and the way we are trending in 2025. If they stay there, this could be another very bloody year. They oversaw the decline of our status and our prestige regionally and internationally. You have to get the US visa. Along with DRC, they caused one of the highest COVID death rates in the world. In the world. And they're still boasting how they manage COVID. This is a man, Stuart Young, as national security man, shut out the internationals from coming into Trinidad. They had to go like squatters and vagrants and beg Barbados to keep some of them for a while. And they boast still up to yesterday about they handled COVID. Well, listen, when the UNC forms the government, we will establish a commission of inquiry into the mishandling of the COVID pandemic in TNT. Young and they are saying, locked out our country, out of our country, our citizens for 16 months. 16 months, but guess who was coming here? Delcy, you remember Delcy? Venice again. Delcy was coming. And this man think we so dotish. He said he didn't know I was coming to meet him in the Prime Minister's office. Well, if you really believe that, well, we know he dotish enough that he would know outside his door. As a Prime Minister, I was there, and I'll be there again with your help. As a Prime Minister, you just don't walk up to the Prime Minister's office. Everything is documented. People can't just walk into that office. So he lied about that too, when Delcy was able to come. They shut down our schools during COVID, creating a lost generation. They presided over 10 years with negative direct investment. They shut down businesses, over 65,000 jobs lost. We pledged to you, the UNC, when we formed the government, with your help and your votes, we will create jobs as we did in the 2010-15 era. Rohan and Young and Rowley presided over the decay of infrastructure and traffic torture. And that is legacy. Stuart Young, Rowley, and the whole pack of jokers. People are sick and tired of losing under the PNM. They have presided over the most losses of our country that you have ever seen from any government. And I want to tell you tonight, the united coalition of interests, we will fix it together. For the decades they have held the reins of power. We have to face the grim realities of unemployment, underemployment, and a stagnating economy. They promised to create jobs, but we've seen thousands of businesses close. Young people fleeing to foreign lands to look for jobs. I say, the UNC, we will fix it. We will invest in people and industries, in our infrastructure, and create an environment where businesses can grow and create well-paying jobs. This government, you may not know, registered over 66,000 small and medium businesses. They deregistered, not registered, deregistered over 66,000 small and medium businesses. I say we will prioritize affordable land and home invasion. Young people can't afford to buy a home at the current prices. Our education systems once the envy of the world. I remember when we went up to the United Nations when I was Prime Minister, we were praised. We were praised for the initiatives, Tim. You remember that we were taking in education. We were one of the first countries to have universal secondary education. And we began universal preschool education. Rowley and Young, they have robbed our children of their birthright. They've robbed them of a quality education which equips them to compete in the world. There is a plaque, even if you have it, put it up. I am proud to stand in this Brazil high school tonight, and I'll tell you why. As Minister of Education, I caused to be built. And I came here and I opened this school in September 2000. You know, before that, the children from here had to go to a Rima, waking up real early hours in the morning. But we built this school for them. And you know, thousands of children have had their education here at this Brazil school. Thousands. The current crop of students here is 483. I want to remind you, this Imbud now, they put him in charge of water. This is what he said when we opened this school. I want the Minister of Education, that was me, Imbud, I'm quoting, in 2000, in Parliament, to tell me why people from Malik should go to school in Karapichaima. Yes, he's still quoting, because they are building schools where people live. What utter nonsense. The mass of the population, Mr. Speaker, is in the east-west corridor and centered around San Fernando. Imbud continued. You know, this government built 100 schools. Well, let's take a praise for that. Under the Pandey government, we built over 100 schools. And not one of them, he said, was in San Fernando and in the greater environs in the east-west corridor and Diego Martin. Look, Tim will tell you all the schools we built. We built at least 19 schools in that period up in the west and the corridor and so on. So we'll share that. Here in Imbud, they built the schools in the bush. A school in the bush for parrots and all kind of wild animals, Mr. Speaker. Crazy people, Prof, crazy people. He said we were building schools for parrot and Dwen. Don't forget that. He was probably talking about himself. Perhaps he was one of the Dwens. I don't know. That's what he said. And as I told you, thousands of children benefited from the school. We also left that Debe campus. I commit we will open the University of the West Indies Debe campus. We left about 106. We built under Tim Gopi Singh, under my government, 106 schools completed. We left about 70 schools in different stages of completion. I tell you again, I commit we will make sure those schools are completed and open for our children. Ask them how many schools did they build in the 10 years. None, not one. Today again, I tell you, the United Coalition of Interests, we will fix this and we will open the schools. We'll modernize them. Our healthcare system is in crisis. They allowed it to crumble because why? Rowley could jump on a plane and fly to California every time he coughed. Anytime medical, he gone. But the rest of you, stay here, Dr. Rishi. They have dismantled the CDAP program. And so our healthcare is in shambles. I tell you, the United Coalition of Interests, we will fix it. We will rebuild the healthcare system. I built that Coover Hospital in 2 years. They could not build that central block in Port of Spain in 10 years. They taught us talk, I will not go back about their practical completions. Crime and violence tearing our country apart. Our United Coalition of Interests, Prof, the UNC, will fix this. We'll implement the plans and policies we have been rolling out over the past several months. The time has come to say goodbye to the friends and family that the PNM have been favoring. We will re-implement the original procurement legislation. Remember, They gutted it out to allow themselves to benefit their friends and family. We will re-implement that. I want to ask Faris, when he recused himself, some imaging sent to Alexandra, what interest do you have in that medical center? We have to go and check that out. Because he recused himself for those as well. As I say, we have been sharing our plans, we'll continue to do so, and people are asking me, so where are you going to find the money? Well, we're going and find out where the 3 billion gone that the Auditor General told us. We will find that out. I tell you, our plans are multifaceted, multidimensional, multi-purpose, new and visionary. So when they ask you where are we getting the money from, I remember during the 2010 election, I was being interviewed by a very beautiful young lady at the time, Shelley Das, on TV. And she asked me that question because we were rolling out our plans and programs for the GATE program and so many others. And she said, but where are you all going to get this money from? To give the children the laptops? Where are you going to get the money to build a hospital? Where are you going to get the money to give the medical grant that we gave, the Children's Life Fund? Where are you getting money for all these children to get their surgeries and so on? Where you get money for Children's Life Fund? Let me tell you something. We found the money in 2010 and thereafter to do all these things and more. Some of it came voluntarily, you may not remember. But every single one of my MPs, including myself, we donated a percentage of our salaries to the Children's Life Fund. So our promises are not pie in the sky. The PNM is about games and pie in the sky. But the UNC, the United Coalition of Interests, is about pie on your table. And macaroni pie too, by the way. Remember I told you can't get macaroni pie. In my conclusion, I say, the United Coalition of Interests has plans and policies to ensure that everybody wins, every citizen. When UNC wins, democracy wins. When UNC wins, we will ensure that you, the people, have the choice to decide on your Prime Minister. You know my party has internal elections. I've had them every year on time, Democratic Party elections. And the leader who commands the majority of the support and the most seats will become Prime Minister. That is why the UNC and the PNM are never the same. That's another narrative they push. They say we are the same. We are not the same. The PNM does not deliver. The PNM does not care. The UNC delivers. The UNC cares. We are not the same. We were born out of struggle. We are born of the struggle of workers and the working class to get a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. So whether it be in the lagoons, whether it be in the oil fields, whether it be in the offices, whether it be on the land or on the sea, in the air or on the roadways, we are here for all the people of TNT. We are not just there for a few. And you know why? We understand. We care, we fight, and we win for you. Don't worry, a few people are leaving. I know it's a bit late. As again, I apologize. I didn't make the accident happen. I wasn't driving. Thank God I got here in time. And of course, we are live broadcasting, and this will be repeated on Wednesday on TV6. So those of you who did not see will be able to see the broadcast. I say again, the United Coalition of Interests is different. We live by our Constitution. We respect our Constitution. We govern by our Constitution. You will be hiring us to work for you in government. You're hiring us to make sure that you are not left behind. You will be hiring us to move you forward. We will be hiring us to move our country forward. And that is what we are going to do when we win this election. We are going to make sure of progress, prosperity, and give you and provide opportunities for the things you need. Winning starts with you. The UNC puts you first. The United National Congress was built for you. The UNC, United Coalition of Interests, is the people's coalition. You are the reason we exist to serve you. The United Coalition of Interests is the U in the party. The United Coalition of Interests, the UNC. You are the U in the UNC. We put you first. So when the United Coalition of Interests win, you win. You win first. I want to thank Arnold Roberts tonight for taking us through this meeting. And again, all the speakers and all of you have come out in your massive numbers. I close as I remind you, when the UNC, the United Coalition of Interests, wins, you win. When the United Coalition of Interests, the UNC, wins, Trinidad and Tobago wins. When the United National Congress, the United Coalition of Interests, wins, everybody, I mean everybody wins. UNC went proud. God bless you all. Get home safe tonight. And thank you for being here with us. Thank you so much.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can restore hope, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who lead with love, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can restore hope, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who lead with love, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC.